You're joking, right?
Well, I'm trying to be hopeful. I'm trying to be optimistic about that.
Well, I guess you're too young to be a little pessimistic like me. The fucking things I see out there, people are stupid. Hey, Bronny.
Hi.
How we doing?
Good. How are you?
All right, so tomorrow.
This is finally one that we like. Normally, we've just had like a 2-hour conversation, and then we sit down and it's like, hey, how are you? Good. How are you? But we just already all had like a catch up. I haven't seen you in over a week, and we just sat down. You know what I mean? We haven't had like a...
I feel like I haven't seen or spoken to you in a long time.
Well, I haven't seen you in a week, right? Yeah, a week.
That's a long time for
Yeah.
us.
Yeah.
And
It used to be like 6 months at a time.
But I'm used to now with the way
Yeah,
it is.
yeah.
And I haven't spoke. I feel like I haven't spoken, and I have no idea what's going on in your life.
I spoke to you a week ago.
No.
I mean, I spoke to you. I was out of town this week, so I was busy.
You were in New York
and you
City?
were busy. I was in New York City.
Tell
I
me
got back last night.
Tell me about it.
That's why this episode is a little late, but it's fine. You guys don't care. And if you do, then it is what it is. It doesn't matter. It came out late. It was great. New York, like, here's the thing about New York. I was in, like, the city. It's just like a city unlike any other city. You know, there's, like, so much to do. There's so many things. It's great for, like, 48 hours. I could never, ever live there.
It's like Vegas.
Yeah. I mean, but it's also a lot better than Vegas because Vegas is like fake fun.
The city,
New York is like real. Like it's like,
I agree. I cannot live there, but it does have a lot to do. A lot of restaurants, a lot of choices.
That's the crazy. It's like you're walking around and every street corner has like 50 restaurants, 25 shops, and you're like, how do you even decide what to do?
You know, there are some great like stores that sell like they're like lunch places, and they have like the hot foods, like
have like a cafeteria style.
Yeah,
thing.
but they're like. Dude, I would
those.
spend like a fucking week in there. Like the food looks so. Mom and I had cappuccino and like a sandwich at one of these places. I didn't know
like a grab and go type thing. You mean?
But yeah, but like it was so good. The stuff they made, like their mac and cheese looked great. Everything looked so good. I would be a fat fuck if I lived in New York City.
If I lived in New York, I would be extremely fat and I'd be broke.
And I'd be happy.
That city,
would you be happy with all that food?
Well, with all the food. I mean, New York. That's definitely a thing they have on over every other city, probably in the world. The food is just the best everywhere you go. I don't know how all these restaurants stay in business.
A lot don't, Bronny.
But every single block has like every kind of restaurant you could imagine. I'm walking down one block and I see Egyptian on this side and Georgian on this side, not the state, like the country. I'm like, who the fuck is eating at these places?
So tell me about your weekend.
It was fun. We just, like I did a whole lot of nothing.
Yeah, my jacket?
Yeah, it's back up in your closet, hung up.
You're the man.
When you borrow things from people, you got to put them
Most
back the
people
right way.
don't. Or you could be like Burke and lose my jacket, which is very upsetting to me. Yeah. I'm not mad at him. I'm just really upset.
The situation's upsetting.
No,
of course.
You understand? I'm really upset over it.
Yeah. Also, I watched Top Gun, the original, on the way out, and I watched Top Gun Maverick on the way back. So even after watching those, because the jacket that Dad's talking about is like, it's not like a real Top Gun jacket, but it's like a fighter jacket, fighter pilot jacket that Dad put the patches on when he was a kid
in high school.
Yeah, so it's
like
a Top Gun style jacket, and they were all wearing those, and I got upset for you that jacket doesn't exist in the family
Uncle
anymore.
Brant and I made identical jackets. They sold these fake ones. We made our own. We got the real patches and we made it.
Yeah.
He doesn't have his, but I kept mine, which I always do. And Burke was going to visit a friend at Penn. Not his fault, but it is his fault.
College.
And he was going to wear this jacket. It's really cool. The first night there, he puts down the frat house and someone stole the fucking jacket. I've had it for 40 fucking years.
Yeah.
I never
really
lost
upsetting.
it. And I'm angry because I'm not mad at him, but I'm so upset because that meant something. And then I knew it meant something to Brooke to have my coat, you know? And I'm
it's
so
just
angry
old.
over it.
Things like that are irreplaceable.
I'm so angry over it. It can make me
Speaking
cry.
of that, the hat, remember the hat that was your
Life is
old
Good
hat?
hat, yeah.
Banks ate it, and I was so devastated. I found one online. It arrived. I was wearing it this morning.
Oh, where is it?
In Miami. I didn't feel like I'm never bringing it to this house again because Banks might eat it again.
Then.
No,
or you can just be responsible and make sure it's a spot where you can't get it.
Yeah, I know.
Put it on the top shelf. But yeah, I get those things mean something.
Yeah. What was I saying? Oh, New York. Yeah, it was great. Just did a whole lot of
calling. Do
walking.
I take the call? No,
we're in a podcast.
Yeah.
We'll see him in 30 minutes.
Good.
We just did
Where'd you go?
a lot of everywhere. I've traversed the whole city. Like literally Soho, Tribeca.
You saw
the
AJ.
village. Yeah, so we just did a whole lot of walking, eating, and then catching up with some friends, just hanging out. It was great.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Good
it was nice.
you.
The weather was all over the place. When it was cold, and it just sucks. I mean, it's like now that I'm back here, it's like today I had to run out to get food for lunch. Like I just left to go get food for lunch. And I just went out of my shorts and t-shirt. When you're there, any time you have to step out, you have to go. You have to put 4 layers on.
Imagine
and then you're hot
walking
in the
a
hallway.
dog. You see these fucking people that have
kids.
No, listen, these people have dogs. They live in apartment buildings. They got to go down a fucking elevator. Not even on a private elevator. They got to walk a dog in cement, pick up the shit in cement.
Yep.
Fucking suicide, as you kids say, suey.
Yeah, I would sue living in that city.
So we were in Miami this weekend, Mom and I, for 2 weddings, and she wanted to take Banks. So, Banks drools everywhere possible over every fucking piece of furniture, everything.
Yeah.
So even in beautiful weather, I had to go down the service elevator, take the fucking dog, walk around the neighborhood twice, and there's plenty of grass where we have our place. New York City is nothing.
And it's freezing.
Yeah, miserable.
And there's all these other people around you, too.
Ugh.
Here's another thing, too, about New York that I noticed. So I really did have a great time. Like, New York is a great city. As far as cities go, like, it's a unique, one-of-a-kind type city that no other city could, like, match in terms of the amount of things that it offers, right? So it's great. I just couldn't live there myself, but I get why a lot of people would. I totally get that. But it's just not pretty. And the other thing that I noticed this weekend was that like the people there also aren't pretty. I was walking around and I was like, everyone is kind of
ugly,
a little
and dirty,
ugly
and dirty.
Yeah, and the things they wear are ugly.
I agree.
In Miami, you walk around, LA, you walk around and it's like, not only is everyone attractive, but they're all like wearing attractive clothes.
Yes.
Like everyone looks, you're like, damn, everyone looks good. Your eyes keep going around.
And if you're a guy, there's no shortage.
No, definitely not.
In New York, it's everywhere
I walked around, I was like, everyone's ugly. And everyone only wears black or gray.
Long coats.
Right, so you don't actually know what their body looks like, and everyone just wears black and gray. That's it.
Like
so it's depressing a little.
The women can't make themselves look less feminine.
Yeah, for real. And they all slick back their hair, so it looks like they have short hair.
No, I agree.
And then they just wear black trench coats.
I don't get it. I don't get it personally, but I don't have to get it. I don't live there. I had a choice to live there when we were younger. Fucking A would never.
Yeah, but I totally get, like, I see why people my age and younger would live there. I don't see why anyone your age would ever live there. That does not make sense to me.
No, people.
I can see why people, a 24-year-old.
They want to leave. They want to leave people.
Yeah, but think like a 24-year-old.
It
makes sense why they live there.
Party.
Right, because there's so much to do.
Mom wants me to rent an apartment there for a month. To go there for a month.
It would be pretty exhausting after a week.
What do you do? Or you know what would happen? All I would do is spend money. Mom would shop.
Yeah,
that's all we do.
Dad, I was before I could even walk half a block. I was like, "Whoa, where'd $50 already go?"
No,
and then by the end of the day, I was like, "How did we get to $250, $300?" Like, because a drink is $25.
Mom would shop nonstop. That's all I would go.
Yeah, and that's what there is to do in the city, right? You just like walk around and spend money.
That's all you do.
Everywhere we went, I would say to the cashiers, the person I was with was like laughing at me. Because every time I would go up to the cashier paying something, I'd be like, damn, I am really supporting the economy this weekend.
Who, you,
because
me?
Every time.
Water
bottles were $8 a bottle.
By the way.
And it's like you need water.
First, you need to chill out. You're 27. You can't be an old Jewish man.
No, but it's just crazy.
Secondly,
to go to the bathroom, like you have to drop $10 to go to the bathroom.
You are the Geico commercial.
Yeah, becoming your parents.
You became the parent 4 years ago.
Even Mom was saying, I was telling her, I don't know how we got it. We were talking about watches or Rolexes. And I was like, yeah, I stopped in 2 different Rolex stores, the one in the Hudson Yards and the one in Soho. And the Hudson Yards one, actually, they had 3 watches in stock. I don't know how we got on it, but Mom was like, why were you going into Rolex stores? Were you buying a Rolex? And I was like, no, but I went to look. And she was like, oh God, that's what Dad does.
But Mom shops in everything.
Yeah, and I was like, why wouldn't I go to look? I want to see what they have.
My dad liked watches. My dad liked cars. It's a normal thing.
And I was like, we're in like the Soho one. They might have inventory that the ones here don't have.
Right.
They didn't. They had 2 Datejust, and she was like, they just got in, which is crazy.
Could you imagine?
Yeah, it's crazy.
But you are my son.
Yeah.
So, all right, so I'm glad you had a nice time. And tomorrow's your birthday.
Tomorrow's my birthday.
27 years old.
Yeah, crazy.
Go figure that out.
27 to me, I mean, now that I am that age, it
It's old.
Feels normal. But when I was like 18 or 16 or 14,
fucking major.
27 was like fully like it was. They were just like an adult that I don't even. As a 16-year-old, like 27 and 50 are the same thing.
Well, you're not young, but you're not old.
I don't feel. But that's the thing is I don't feel. But I don't know. Do you ever feel? I don't feel now that I'm like, oh yeah, I'm fully an adult. Like how I view you, or I view other 40, 50-year-olds.
Okay, but
I don't feel like a kid.
You're not a kid. Look at Zerai. Look at the difference in Zerai.
Well, I don't even feel like I did when I was 22, or 23, where I was like just thinking about like having fun in the moment. Like I don't think that way anymore. Like I feel like I'm like, I think more like an adult and I feel more like one, but I'm not one still at all. I feel like I'm like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I don't know what that is.
You do know what you're doing, and that's not necessarily true, but you should think more like an adult and feel that way and think about your future. It's a normal progression. I think you go in stages. Like Mom and I say, how are we ever going to like, oh my God, like when our kids grow old or we're empty nest, what are we going to do? You grow into things. I think the way we're made and the way time goes and the cycles that we live, whether it's created by us and cultural, because your kids go to college, they outgrow, whatever, and then you hang out with people similarly situated to you and when their kids are out of the house, or if it's just the way we're wired and what we do. But you do feel, because I used to always say to myself, how is it when I was so much younger and I see people getting old, I'm like, oh my God, how do people face death?
I don't even, that's never.
No, but I'm not saying little like, you're dying, but I mean like, you're 50 or 60 or 70, you're getting closer to death. That's what I'm saying. Like life is shortening.
When were you thinking when were you thinking the thought that you just had? Because like I literally never even think.
Nor should you.
It's all. I just don't think about it because it's so far away from me that I don't wrestle with it.
I used to look at people when they get older. Let's say like whether my parents or whatever. Like, how do they deal with that? Like I couldn't even comment that. But it wasn't like I sit there and dwell on it. I would say, you were just. How do people think of that? Like I'll give you an example.
You probably get used to it by the time it comes.
That's my point. I'll give you an example. When Mom and I first got married, like how are we gonna afford a kid? How are we going to...
That's what I mean, where I'm like, I don't feel like an adult yet because I'm like, how could I ever like buy a home and be able to do that?
We used to say like, how are we going to buy a home? How are we going to support a kid?
That's like adult stuff to me, and I'm not there yet.
But you grow into it, and you all do, and you all end up becoming fine.
Right, so, but then when I think about that, then the next thing I think is like, there are so many adults, quote unquote, that have the kids, have the home, all that, and I'm like, how do they do it? Like they are their own worst enemy. So if they can do it, I could do it.
You will do it. It's a normal progression. I'm telling you, when Mom and I first had a little apartment in Great Neck, it was 1 bedroom, just married, we're making a lot of money, and we're like, gonna have a kid. We're like, maybe we can divide the room into 2 rooms to make it, you're trying to all these, and you grow into it, and you're fine. So my point is, so when I used to think like, how do you deal with getting older as a person, like people in the 60s or 70s? But you see it now that I'm 56, or you see like you get used to it, and then you cherish things more. You want to spend more time. It's quality, and nobody wants to get closer to passing, but you just see things differently. So I think each stage, and I got to sneeze 1 minute. I think each stage.
Bless you.
Excuse me, because I was trying to say sneeze and stage to a stage. I think each stage of your life, you grow. It's like, you get engaged, you get married, and you have a kid, and then you worry about the kid's safety. Now my kids are older or they're out of college. You don't worry about their safety. 1 minute.
Bless you. Woo-hoo. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's what life is when things come up, life has gotten you ready for it, hopefully.
Life has gotten ready. And the great thing that I think you kids have, and like a lot of your friends that have these loving families and parenting, is you have a great support structure.
Yeah.
And a great support system that not that you can rely on, but you can always fall back, God forbid. And there's a great comfort level of knowing to have that.
Yeah.
Because it makes your life, it takes away unnecessary stresses that, let's say, I might have had where I couldn't turn to my parents on something.
Definitely.
So that's
I don't worry. When I say like, oh my God, I think about like, how am I ever going to do that? It's not like a deep stress about it where I'm like, that's never going to happen.
No, it's not.
It's just a like stress. It's just a like, wow, I wonder how am I going to get there because I don't see it right now. And it's not a worry. Right. It's a thought.
But it's right. And I don't think
because I know eventually it'll happen.
It should not be a worry. I agree. But it should be something they say, okay, I'm thinking like when you said on the podcast, I'm thinking of maybe going to law school. I'm thinking about my future. I want better income, whatever.
Yeah.
That's just the normal maturing thing of growing and seeing that we're in a stage of your life where you want to be and what you're thinking of your future. So when you're a child, you don't think about your future. When you're a young adult, you start thinking about your future, and you start thinking about when I'm age, I'm going to have kids. I don't want to be an old parent. I want, all these things. So that is being an adult. That is being responsible, and things fall into place. And you're by the fact of saying I want to go to law school because I want to better my life or better my career or finance, whatever it is. That's think like an adult of planning your future. That's all it is. That's the normal stuff. And at 27, you're enjoying yourself, and you're balancing both enjoying life and also working for the future. And that's what life's all about. It's all about balance and moderation and give and take, and not being selfish, and living and saving, and you're doing the right thing.
I'm trying to do all of that.
You're doing the right thing. I'm not worried about it. All you kids are Mom and I always say, you boys are exactly where you should be doing what you should be doing, and you're working towards a greater goal. So I think it's a good thing. Yeah. So it's good. So I'm glad you had a good time. Birthday coming up tomorrow. Yep. Actually in about 4 hours. And
4.5 hours.
Yeah. And what are you anything you doing special for your birthday? Well, we're going to dinner. We're gonna do a nice steak dinner.
Okay.
We're going as a family. Anything you want for your birthday?
No, I really don't. This birthday, out of all my, the most out of all of them, I'm just like
another day.
Not even. I'm not being like when people are like, I don't want anything for my birthday, but it's like they're because they actually like maybe secretly do, or they don't want to be whatever, or like they actually care, but they're pretending not to. I'm just like I literally forgot, and I was looking at the date yesterday on the plane, and I was like February 19th. February 19th, that's so close to my birthday. Oh, yeah, my birthday is on Tuesday. Like, I literally just kind of forgot about it. So, I mean, tomorrow,
we're going to have a nice day. I have to work, unfortunately. You going to work tomorrow?
No, I took off.
Okay, so you hang. Tomorrow night, we'll do a nice dinner. Are you going to go back to Miami tomorrow night?
Yeah.
Okay, after we do our pod.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I don't even need to really go out tomorrow. But we'll talk about it.
100% we're going out. It's all booked.
Yeah, but it's such a whole... We'll talk about it. It's fine. That's fine. Just because there's not that much time in the day. Got to do a Patreon. We got to do a Patreon. If you want to hear that, then go join.
How do they
I'm
join?
saying we got to do a Patreon, dinner, and I got to go home. That's a lot.
Okay, but yeah, I have to work a full day and do dinner.
Right, that's what I'm saying. So it's so much easier to just do dinner.
It's your fucking birthday.
Yeah, we could cook dinner. No, steaks here.
No, we're going out for your birthday.
Yeah, but you have to like dress up.
We're going out for your birthday.
What were we saying?
You work. Listen, it's your birthday. We'll do what you want. You talk to Mom.
Yeah, I mean, like I didn't even choose the restaurant.
Well, we figured you'd like it.
Yeah.
But all right. You work it out, Mom.
But I'm saying you guys are making my birthday decisions.
Well,
what if I just wanted to stay home?
Then we'll stay home if that's what you want to do.
I'll
let Mom know in advance.
All
right. So, what else going on, Bronny?
Nothing. No, I mean, there's stuff going on, but
I beat you to the punch, bitches. Oh, look, we're so good with the.
Those are the only two that I.
We're the only two we know.
I mean, you can't push the far bottom right one that hasn't been used in a while because there is a cancel court that we can do.
Ooh, I would like that. Yeah. Here we go. Well, welcome, cancel court. Yeah, Dr. Seuss, Mr. Potato Head. What's next, Barbie? Cancel. What does that mean?
Cancel. I love that part.
Fucking crazy. Oh my god. I love this shit. I miss it, bro.
This makes me like want to go like vibe at a club.
Oh yeah.
You were gonna say something else.
It's the beginning of the end. I love it.
Cancel,
that's our fucking intro. Yeah, go ahead.
For those who maybe like, because we haven't done one of those in like maybe 9 months.
Oh, it's been a long time. We haven't done a Follow Advice, I think, in 12 years.
In like 2 weeks, but we're gonna do one. Like I have it right
Brad,
there.
Look at you all organized.
Yeah.
How's your clean car,
cancel, by the way? It's great. Okay. I literally don't even want to use it. But it also gets dirty just being in the garage. It's so annoying.
I know.
Being in the city garage, the car just gets filthy.
My car sits outside and it gets dirty.
Yeah.
I'm not going to...
that's life.
Yeah.
The two chores that are never ending. Laundry and car and cleaning. Because the second you're done cleaning, we'll get to cancel court. Don't worry, I didn't forget about it. the second you're done cleaning, the things that you started with are already a little bit dirty. So it's never ending. You're constantly
job security.
I said chores. What's job security?
What are you talking about cleaning? For people to clean.
Shit. But laundry is. I hate laundry out of any chore because it's never ending. Because the second you're putting your load of laundry in, the clothes you're wearing are dirty. So the second, right when you're doing a load of laundry, you already have dirty clothes that are replacing in the hamper.
This is not even worth discussing.
Well, that's just why it's the least satisfying.
Chore. Laundry is great because you feel the least satisfying.
No, because, but then there's shit in the laundry bin right when you're done, and you're like, "Fuck, that's fun." But like,
I don't do laundry. So you got to work hard so you can have somebody do this shit for you.
But sometimes some things that cleaning the sink, greatest chore ever because it's like all this stuff and then you do it and then it's completely clean and it's right. Everything's put away in its place and then it doesn't get dirty until you do another dish, right? But you're not dirtying your dish while
you're an idiot. Move on.
The most satisfying one though, which is the best chore, and I'll do it all the time, is cleaning glass. Windex and glass is the best for sure. Like the mirror behind your you're in your bathroom because it gets dirty from your toothbrush or whatever.
You're an idiot.
And then cleaning that. Why? It's a satisfying chore.
Okay, as long as you feel satisfied.
Vacuuming is a very satisfying chore. When you have a small area, my apartment's very small.
I like when I pay my bills and I'm already checks right.
Yeah, see, it's a good feeling, right? That's what I'm.
When I was younger,
mine are all on.
I was in
I never
undergrad or law school. Laundry was a satisfying feeling.
Laundry is the worst chore to me because it's like. It's such a chore. It's like, oh, I got to go get up.
Now I don't bring all this shit. I won't food chop.
It takes 3 hours.
I won't clean. I won't do any of that shit. I felt satisfied when my car was clean when I was younger and I did it myself. Now I have someone do it and I love it looking at it when I clean.
Yeah.
Cancel court.
Yeah, there's actually like two kind of that are.
Ooh! Only joking.
So cancel court, for those who don't know, because we haven't done it in a while, like a year and a half ago when this podcast was like, in its earlier stages.
So are you going to eventually work with me in my practice?
That's so random.
Yeah, wouldn't that be nice?
Why'd you bring that up?
I hope you're going to come in eventually.
I mean, that's part of the plan eventually.
I hope so.
That was so random, though.
I'm random. You were talking about fucking chores when we were doing cancel court.
Yeah, but like, why didn't you talk about this when we were talking 10 minutes ago when we were talking about
it's the way my brain works.
Being an adult, changing to go to law school, all that.
That's the way my brain works.
Okay, fair. I mean, I can't say what I'm going to do in 10 years, but
10. I'm expecting 6. 3 years of law school, 3 years of work for somebody. You're in my fucking practice by then. So I can
6 to 10. That's so drastic.
It is for me at my age. So I can make you into a really good lawyer.
Well, that's
Okay, go ahead.
That's part of the plan.
Good,
sure.
Okay. If not, I'm taking Soto in. Go ahead. He was over the other night. He's a good kid. I like him.
What was I going to say? Oh, so cancel court. Back in the day when like cancel culture was a huge thing, everyone was getting canceled. If you heard it in the song, we named a bunch of them. Remember, it was like Mr. Potato Head got canceled,
Dr.
Barbie,
Seuss.
Dr. Seuss, right? All these things,
retards.
All these old classic things were getting canceled. So there's two things, and cancel culture kind of just like died, right? Like in the last year, people are just like, nah,
like, move the fuck on, right?
Or like, oh, someone's trying to cancel me, nah, I'm just going to keep doing what I'm going to do, which is how it should be.
Yep.
But over the weekend. There's two that we can talk about. This episode is brought to you by Manscaped, who helped me out this week on my trip. I had a Manscaped before I left.
How did it help you out, Ronnie?
By being clean for a trip.
So it actually helped the person you were out with. Didn't really help
I'm not going to go into details as I don't do that on this show. But
do you do it on another show?
Yes.
What's the other show that I don't know about?
I can't tell you.
Really? Okay.
But Manscaped definitely helped me out, and they can help you out. You guys know that we use Manscaped products all the time for anything below the neck, but now Manscaped will hook you up above the neck as well with the new Beard Hedger Pro Kit, which I'm holding in my hand. The Lawnmower 4.0, you guys have known, is the best tool for trimming your ball hair, your taint hair. If you got like
your head,
sure. This was seriously. Probably, although this I bet would be better for the head because this is meant for your facial hair. So this Beard Hedger Pro is a facial hair trimmer. I've been using it on my beard. It's great. It has so many settings.
And if it works on that Brillo, it will work on anything, I promise you.
And so not only is the actual trimmer great, but if you order the whole kit, it comes with everything you would ever need to tame your beard.
And instructions for those who are
It literally does.
Intellectually challenged.
It literally shows you how you should shave. So just in case, they have you covered for anything you would need. But it comes with beard balm, beard conditioner, beard shampoo, beard oil, which is all stuff I guess you need to be using, and that's why you all look not as good as you could be. So definitely check it out.
You know what my favorite part is?
What?
I love the scissors.
I love the smell of the wood. So not only does it come with all those things that I just mentioned, but it also comes with 3 free gifts. It comes with a really nice beard brush that's made out of wood.
Very nice.
It comes with a nice wooden comb that's right here, which is really nice. And it comes
my
with
favorite. You know what I like about that?
Fucking barber scissors.
You know what I like about it?
What?
I like the little hook for the finger.
Yeah, I feel like I'm a barber. Like,
yeah.
You know? So and that's the sound barbers make.
Oh my God.
So it comes with everything you'd need. It's really great. Now, like literally Manscaped
has a case if you travel.
Manscaped has me hooked up below the belt or below the neck and above the neck, right? I use the shampoo and conditioner
basically
for my
saying
hair.
his whole body from head to toe.
From head to toe. That's exactly what I was looking for.
Don't point that knife at me.
It's scissors. So Manscaped can hook you guys up from head to toe as well with this new kit. So head over to manscaped.com. Use the code DaddyIssues20. You'll get 20% off and free shipping on everything.
I should right now, like pretend barber. I should lean back. I should trim your nose hairs with that thing.
Well, no, you don't even need to do it with that because
I know,
you can
but
use
let's
the weed whacker.
Old school, bro.
Manscaped even has a dedicated ear and nose hair trimmer.
I like the sound of that one.
So we can do that after. So you can go to, once again, manscaped.com. Use the code DaddyIssues20. You'll get 20% off and free shipping. One, you know Don Lemon. We've talked about him on the show many times. The black anchor on CNN. The bald guy who's like such a cuck.
Such a cock?
Cuck, like C-U-C-K. Like just a beta male, like a bitch. Okay. You know? A cuck, like a cuckold.
Okay.
Where like someone else would fuck his wife probably.
Oh, whoa, easy. All right, go on.
It's a term that you use for a guy who's like a bitch.
I got it. The 12 ways to define it. I understood the first one.
Jesus Christ. You questioned me. Don Lemon
and I always
over the
will
weekend.
fucking question you. Go ahead.
No, so I'm saying I was giving you the explanation.
12 times.
Don Lemon over the weekend. We'll just watch the clip. But since this happened, he's been like, he was removed as of today from like his morning show.
Let me see. So he's
break.
CNN?
He's CNN.
All right. Now, I'm not a believer. I'm not a fan of CNN, but I will be fair and say whether or not I think he should be canceled.
Yeah, that's what'll be interesting because to talk about what he's talking about.
Like I hate Whoopi Goldberg, but that other one she did last time I didn't find an issue with. Let's see what we got.
Find it.
This world is a bunch of fucking pussies.
Let's see.
Makes me uncomfortable. I think it's the wrong road to go down. She says people, you know.
Okay, so wait, he's talking about Nikki Haley, who's a Republican.
Who's running for president.
Right, exactly. And she's a woman, and she's 50-something.
Okay,
so that's what he's talking about. I'm going to start it over.
Is he married or gay, this guy?
I think he's gay.
All right.
No, Anderson Cooper's gay, but I don't know.
Anderson Cooper, but look at the hands on the hip. He looks gay.
This whole talk about age.
Is that RuPaul?
I think it's the wrong road to go down. She says people, you know, politicians or something are not in their prime. Nikki Haley isn't in her prime. Sorry. When a woman is considered to be in her prime in her 20s and 30s and maybe 40s.
What are you talking? Wait.
That's not according to me.
Prime for what?
It depends. I mean, it's just like prime. If you look it up, if you Google when is a woman in her prime, it'll say 20s, 30s, and 40s. I don't necessarily.
40s. Oh, I got another.
I'm not saying
decade.
I agree with that. So I think she has to be careful about saying that politicians aren't in their prime.
We need to qualify. Are you talking about prime for like childbearing, or are you talking about prime for being president?
What the facts are. Google it. Everybody at home. When is a woman in her prime? It says 20s, 30s, and 40s. And I'm just saying Nikki Haley should be careful about saying that politicians are not in their prime and they need to be in their prime when they serve, because she wouldn't be in her prime according to
Google?
Google or whatever it is. This whole talk about age makes
That's it. Okay.
All right. First of all, since when is Google an authority?
Well, that's the ridiculous thing. It's like, just Google it. If
you're
Google
a CNN reporter.
Yeah.
You're supposed to be CNN. It's supposed to be one of the top, which we know it's not, reporting medium, so to speak. He dug himself a hole because she questioned it, and he meant sexually like in your prime and childbearing.
So here's the thing. But I agree with Don Lemon. Women are in their prime, in their not even 40s, 20s. But that's really it. Is when a woman's in their prime. But just like men are really in their prime in 20s to 40s.
Though is what I think she was saying. There's different categories.
Right. She said we need to quantify what you're saying because
a 40-year-old woman could be in her prime much more intellectually than a woman in her 20s.
Right. Because so the woman on the left, I forget her name.
Doesn't matter.
She said, "Are you talking about for birthing years or for being president?" And there is a difference. Like, I don't, a 20-year-old is not in their prime for being president.
They don't have life experience.
Yeah.
Now, here's the thing. And on the same token, what is stupid thing? So if Nikki Haley is how you pronounce it? Haley says, the politicians are not in their prime, whatever it might be. Okay, it's just there's nothing wrong with that statement.
And do you know what he was doing?
So why did he even count?
He was defending Biden's age. That's what he was doing. Okay. He was saying, she says she says politicians aren't in her prime. She's not in her prime. Biden is fine.
But you do understand.
That's what he was trying to do.
If this is what the news is, let's get to the cancel part in a moment.
Yeah.
But if this is what you have 3 people on the panel of CNN talking about that comment of Nikki Haley, that has no value or meaning.
Well, they're like, what do we do if not take something in the news and then talk about our thoughts on it? That's a lot of what they do.
No, but that is...
They don't just report the news.
It's just it's meaningless. So
they're discussing... All right. Dad, it's not, I don't think it's meaningless to discuss if a person is in their prime for being president.
We all know that a big thing is that a Sleepy Joe is too old. That's always been a thing. Yeah. So she's saying in a nice way, he's too old, without saying he's old.
Right. And she didn't even say she's old. She said he's not in his prime, which, of course.
Listen, she's being politically correct in the way she's saying it.
The only thing someone in their 80s is in their prime for is dying. They're not in their prime for anything else. No. Maybe like pooping their pants.
A guy 80 years old is really not in the prime to like even be a CEO. There's a reason why.
That's what I mean.
Right,
literally
there's a
nothing.
reason why police officers, FBI agents, or even teachers have to retire after a certain age. There's a reason.
Or corporations will kick out a CEO after 70.
It makes sense. So it's shocking. Well, not shocking. It's so stupid and silly that they're discussing it. But what he says, let's assume for argument's sake. Let's just take for argument's sake. He's saying, and he was backpedaling. I get it. He's saying not in the prime, meaning women are sexually in their prime.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or for even, let's just say childbirthing.
Right. Okay.
Because sexually is up.
Really? Get a fucking life. Not him. The people listening.
Well, yeah.
There's nothing offensive by it.
I agree. There's nothing offensive at all.
He's not saying women are idiots.
No.
He's not saying Jews are this. He's saying women in their prime, by prime definition of their top of their peak, means for giving birth or whatever it is this
and
age.
Find me any 50. Let's find out how old Nikki Haley is, just so we can.
Oh my God, they shouldn't cancel.
She is 51, so she's in her 50s. I don't think any 51-year-old woman would say that she's in her prime.
They might say, because
would they believe it though?
I am woman. I hear me roar.
But would they believe it?
They would convince themselves. Yes, I'm in the best position of my life.
As a 54, 55 now.
You know why they're not in their primes? Look how much makeup they got put. They want to do plastic surgery. Their boobs are sagging.
They can't have children. They're not in their prime. They can't have children.
But that's for that category.
Right, but prime, if you just say in your prime, that means top of your life.
Why do you Google what is a prime?
No, well, there's not a...
you don't know?
Well, prime means best.
Why is it when are women in their prime? Just see.
Let's do Don Lemon's. Just Google it, he said.
I'm saying, say when are women in their prime?
It's the first thing that comes up when you do when are women, because I bet a lot of people are searching it. But also maybe the results have changed.
Correct.
Primewomen.com.
Oh, there's a .com for that?
Yeah, this was posted 57 minutes ago. The unkindest prime cut of all. This was literally posted 57 minutes ago. When is a woman in her prime? That question came up on morning television recently, and we're ready to weigh in on the matter. What did you Google most recently?
This is just an editorial. I want to know what the definition.
No, but there is no. That's the thing. It's when are they in their prime for childbearing? When are they in their prime for?
Correct, but there's. Can you just
when are they in their prime for breastfeeding? When
just entertain me and fucking. There's got to be another result besides that editorial.
But they're all going. There's no, because what I'm saying is there's no scientific answer for that. That's like me saying, when is John Bloom the happiest? There's no scientific answer.
All right.
It changes depending on the situation.
So what's the next one that comes out?
They're all the same thing. This is the Healthy Journal. When is a woman's prime? This is Quora, which is just a blog. They're
Stupid.
all
so they're canceling him?
No, but what I'm saying is that there's no objective answer because it all depends.
On what category?
Of course. When is a woman in her prime for being a fourth grader? When they're a fourth grader, right? Like there's no...
I got it, Bronny. I got it. So why don't you... So are they canceling him because of this?
He's not... Well, we can find out exactly. So let's do...
So shows you how
I saw this morning that he was like not...
This is
he lost his spot.
It's starting already.
Absent from CNN this morning amid ongoing criticism over his comments.
That's not Whoopi Goldberg commenting.
Yeah, this says Whoopi Goldberg echoes Don Lemon in attacking Nikki Haley. You're not a new generation. You're 51.
Who is she? Whoopi Goldberg. She's a fucking authority.
Well, she's not an authority. They're just sharing.
You know
who
what I'm
are we
saying?
that we talk about stuff.
We are an authority.
Why?
Okay, Ronnie, come on. You know we are. When you have to explain why, then
so you hear like this says. I mean, the thing is that happened a couple days ago, and as of now, here it says amid ongoing criticism over his comments, he was absent on Monday today from CNN this morning.
Oh, come on, guys.
And Poppy Harlow told viewers that Don has the day off. He has not been on air since Thursday.
What's on your neck over there?
Stop.
What is that little mark over there?
A bruise.
Okay, sure. No problem. A bruise, Bronny. On your neck? How'd you bruise? Did you run into a cabinet door?
No, I opened the cabinet door into
Did you run into some lip sucking your neck?
No, it was a cabinet door that opened into my neck.
Really? So it's a bruise like that? Let me see the bruise again.
No. Can we go on with this?
Oh, I see the bruise. Wow, that must have been a
look at it if you really want
interesting cabinet door. Okay, nice. All right, go ahead.
From fucking 4 seconds, too. It's so annoying. 2 seconds. My skin's the most sensitive skin in the world.
2 seconds of the cabinet door sucking your skin?
Yeah, the door was like resting on my skin.
It sucked your skin. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
All right, great. Hope you don't have any of those on your penis. All right, go ahead.
Well, that would be nice to have them on
I don't know. I wouldn't want those. It looks like fucking leprosy.
But if something's coming from sucking, I'd rather have it on my... You said I would. Whatever. Okay, we're
keep
moving on.
Digging deep.
Just Google it.
Yeah. Google. What's it like to get a fucking hickey by running into a door cabinet? Go ahead.
So it says he's not been on air since Thursday when he had the discussion.
Leave the guy alone, please.
He has since apologized, but he's been widely condemned, including by CNN CEO. According to New York Times, CNN CEO Chris Lisk chastised Lemon during an editorial call Friday, saying his remarks were upsetting, unacceptable, and unfair.
Okay, he should
work. It's just crazy.
Have him come over to Fox.
Yeah, right? Imagine.
It's enough already.
It's just crazy.
It's a fucking joke. Get a fucking life. Retard alert.
Yeah, I just saw it and I was like, what the hell?
What a waste of fucking people's interest and talking about it. And fucking
100% a woman is in her prime, in her 20s and 30s, and a man is in his, just like a man is in his prime.
A man is in prime from the age of 15 to 75. I just want you to know that.
Not in their prime. A man's prime is longer, but a 35-year-old man is better than a 75-year-old man in every way. A man's
prime is the age of 15 to 75.
A
woman's prime is the age of 21 to 21 and a half.
Okay, well, that was creepy.
Teasing you.
A man's prime definitely lasts longer because of childbearing, and also men age better than women physically. We just do. Men, like, think about celebrities, like actors, right? Think about like 50-year-old actors. The men all look better than they were in their 20s and 30s, and the women all look worse at 50 than they do in their 20s and 30s. I'm talking about actors, celebrities, right? I'm not saying they look bad, right? Like, let's take even like Jennifer Lopez. She still looks great, but she doesn't look better than she did when she was 28. There's just no way.
She still looks good.
But like someone like Steve Carell, he looks better as a 55-year-old man.
You chose Steve Carell. You're so funny.
But because look, like honestly, Steve Carell then and now, I guess let's do that. Because he has aged well. Like look at that. He looks better as a middle-aged man than he did as a 35-year-old.
Well, he's got a little more money.
Regardless, doesn't he? I think so.
I
think he aged better. Where women generally age worse.
Suck it, ladies.
I mean, it's just the way
Bronson's neck. Suck it, ladies.
So that's that one. I mean, it's not that big of a deal.
I think that's ridiculous. Yeah. Leave the fucking guy alone.
The other thing, though, is that like cancel culture, it always comes back. So if you're someone that's calling for the cancellation of other people, just know that it can come for you. Like Don Lemon has called for the cancellation of a lot of people. So it's like, hey, if you're going to participate in cancel culture as the canceller, you're going to get canceled eventually. Or you do like we do and just say cancel culture doesn't exist. No one can be canceled at all. Even if someone says fucking whatever, like I'm not going to say it.
Listen, we call it like it is. Meaning, no, hear me out.
Monetize
like,
us.
We don't like him. Right? We think he's
I think Don Lemon is a bad journalist and a cuck.
I also don't like, what is a cuck? Only joking. I also don't like Whoopi Goldberg. But when she made that other comment, I didn't find it offensive. I call it like the reality. And I also, what he said, like, seriously?
Yeah, I don't think.
And why can't, okay, Bronson, you don't have enough life experience in working. This is not a negative, just based upon your age.
Well, I'm not in my prime, I guess.
Listen, so I have made many mistakes in business. You learn from those mistakes. It doesn't mean to shut me down. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You have whatever it is, consequence. You hopefully can resolve the things, but they're just mistakes. Human beings make mistakes. There's no one that's immune from it, so to speak.
Yeah.
So if the guy said something stupid, okay,
which it wasn't even stupid.
Wait, but let's just say for argument's sake, he said something stupid.
Yeah.
He said something stupid.
Right. And by the way, he's speaking for 7 hours a day, every day.
Correct.
He's going to say something stupid.
Guaranteed, because that's his job. Now,
he's speaking more than anyone else
and
is speaking in America.
Should the guy be judged by one stupid thing he says?
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
How about he could just be a guy that does his job that said a stupid thing?
Yeah, or the next morning, he should have come on and been like, yeah, Nikki Haley. Or just been like, to Nikki Haley, I'm sorry if I insinuated that you were too old for your position. Whatever.
Or not say anything.
Right?
You just don't have to agree to it.
Exactly.
He can have, you're right, he could be 7 hours a day. He could say 6 hours and 45 minutes of great stuff, but he's only memorized. It's like this.
But it's like this. He's been on there for 30 years.
You build 1,000 skyscrapers, and you suck one cock, and you're known as a
cocksucker,
right?
Or a fag. I'm going to bleep that because YouTube will remove us probably for that word.
But might delete that.
To bleep that. Too.
But my point is, cut the guy some slack. Everyone in business has made a mistake in the business. There's not a single person who's not made a mistake. Period. So
many mistakes, you would hope so.
Correct. And you learn from those. And that's how, you really learn from those things because you don't do them again.
Yeah.
But the
it's
guy
just so stupid that's the culture that we live in where it's like
the point,
you do one little thing and it's just like your whole career's over. What the fuck?
That guy should be able to speak freely and
I agree with what he said. Here's the thing that I don't like about it is that he should have stuck to what he said. The second he was questioned, he was like, "Oh, just Google it. It wasn't me saying it. It was other people."
Correct. That's the pussy in it.
Exactly. That's the cock. If I was in that situation and I said women are in their 20s or in their 20s and 30s or in their prime, and someone said, "What do you mean? What are you talking about in their prime?" I would say, even if I was like, "Oh shit, I fucked up," I would say for childbearing. For childbearing, it's science biologically women are.
But she's not judging. So then I'm saying, okay, but
and then I would say, "Oh, true, fair enough."
Right.
Yeah. But he instantly was like, "Oh, fuck," and that's bitch. Like, if you're gonna say something, especially something that he believes in what he said that first sentence, right? Because he said it, and you could tell he wasn't like.
There's nothing wrong with what he said.
Exactly, and so if you're gonna say something that you believe in,
have conviction.
Own it. Yeah,
have conviction.
100%.
What's the other cancel culture?
Before we get to the other cancel culture, there's another Don Lemon clip that's been circulating around this week that I thought we should watch because we've talked about how we've talked about in the last couple of episodes how culture is the root of a lot of issues in groups and how culture needs to change. But nowadays, if you say that kind of stuff, especially towards the black community, right? So here, this clip of Don Lemon, this was when Obama was president. It was probably 2007 or 2008. Don Lemon on CNN. This has been circulating this week, and it's just really interesting to hear what was totally acceptable on a liberal platform back then to what being talked about now.
The narrative changed because it's that woke political correctness.
And so you can see the narrative change. This video is interesting.
Because black people, if you really want to fix the problem, here's just 5 things that you should think about doing. Here's number 5. And if this doesn't apply to you, if you're not doing this, then it doesn't apply to you. I'm not talking about you. Here's number 5. Pull up your pants. Walking around with your ass and your underwear showing is not okay. In fact,
this is on CNN.
It comes from prison when they take away belts from the prisoner so that they can't make a weapon.
Right.
And then it evolved into which role a prisoner would have during male-on-male prison sex. The one with the really low pants is a submissive one. You get my point? Number 4 now is the N-word. By promoting the use of that word when it's not germane to the conversation, have you ever considered that you may just be perpetuating the stereotype the master intended?
We say this all the time, don't we?
Now number 3.
He said that on CNN, by the way.
Respect where you live. Start small by not dropping
just
trash,
pause for a moment.
littering.
Now they say peaceful riots are not peaceful protests.
I like this guy then.
Is this not crazy?
No, who is this guy?
Is this like,
who is this guy?
This is
Get him over to Fox.
Okay, is this not crazy? He's saying respect where you live, clean up. Last year, CNN literally said there was there's pictures of a building on fire behind them, and they're saying these are peaceful protests.
This guy's on the money. Now, let me say that. If he said, I like this guy from that era.
Yeah.
If he said that today, pick up your pants.
Oh, my God.
They would say, you are racist because it's culture, who we are. It's our culture. It has nothing to do with prison. And if we are in prison because we are enslaved by the white man.
Exactly.
And we have to be in prison. Yeah.
Is this not crazy? This is the same guy, and this is on CNN.
In your own communities. I've lived in several predominantly white neighborhoods in my life. I rarely, if ever, witness people littering. I live in Harlem now. It's an historically black neighborhood. Every single day, I see adults and children dropping their trash on the ground.
Black people
litter. I get it.
I'm saying for them.
Just being honest here. Number 2, finish school. You want to break the cycle of poverty?
Right.
Stop telling kids are acting white because they go to school or they speak proper English. A high school dropout makes on average $19,000 a year. A high school graduate makes $28,000 a year. A college graduate makes $51,000 a year.
This is not the case
Over the
anymore,
course of a career, a college grad will make nearly $1 million more than a high school graduate. That's a lot of money. And number 1, and probably the most important, just because you can have a baby, it doesn't mean you should, especially without planning for one or getting married first. More than 72% of children in the African American community are born out of wedlock.
That's where the problems come
absent
from.
Fathers.
Everything's a problem, what he said.
That lack of a male role model
is
an express train right to prison. And the cycle continues.
Okay.
Is that not crazy, Dad?
No. You can end the pod on that note, and I'm actually happy. There's things that trigger me. That doesn't trigger me. That's the fucking core of everything.
But it also triggers me that was the liberal platform.
My God, that's fucking great.
A liberal black man. Let's look up if he's gay. Right?
He's saying what to do to correct the fucking culture.
But that was the liberal platform back then. Now, 10 years later, if you say any of that stuff, you are fully
you're done.
Never say
you're done.
Imagine
you have to walk around with security.
Imagine saying to a black person, to the black community, you are being absent fathers, and that's what's putting you all in prison. That would be insane.
But it's true, though.
He just said
but
that.
It's true.
It's a huge part of the problem.
Yes.
100%. I just want to see if he's gay.
Wow, that's fucking great.
Personal life. He's gay. So a black gay man on CNN was saying all those things back only 10 years ago. It's just sad how much more extreme things have gotten.
Maybe it will go back.
That is something that Tucker would say now, and people would be like, he's a white supremacist.
Yeah, okay.
Correct. He could say that verbatim. He should.
That thing is phenomenal.
Can you
get that to Tucker?
Tucker should do a segment where he just uses the exact same script that Don Lemon used verbatim and see how people react.
Now let me explain.
And then he should be like, I was using Don Lemon's words.
Right. Let me explain something.
Ooh.
Is this any different when we said blank blank should be blank, and then when we talked about Nancy Pelosi and they took it off, but we said same thing about Trump, quote unquote, and they left it up there. Same thing.
Yeah.
I did it as a little test, right?
Yeah, we did it as a little test.
No, I did it. That's it. And they kept it up.
Yes.
But they took it down when we said about Nancy.
Mm-hmm.
How fucked up is that?
It is fucked up.
All right. By the way, I feel like dropping the mic if I can end the whole podcast career right now. And I feel we achieved our goal.
Yeah.
We're not ending it, by the way. But that guy's on the money.
It's just crazy.
And now he's a douche.
Yeah.
He's being told.
Of course.
See, the problem,
of course.
they are all cucks.
That's exactly why I use that word.
What's a cuck?
It's because back then, they were probably all real journalists. Like, he probably went to his editor and was like, I want to tell a story. Like, let me write a segment about how there's problems in the black community. And nowadays, they just sit there and say, the editor will come in, okay, we got this sheet from our sponsor, Pfizer. Bambi. They want you to say this. Right. So that's what I'm saying. Like, they're not journalists anymore.
So he probably said, I'm a black person living in Harlem. I'm educated. I can help my community.
Yeah.
I'm a leader. I have a voice. Let me do this. And there's nothing wrong with that. People shouldn't be offended by it. See, what happens, they get offended because they know it's the fucking truth.
He would be, if that was said today, he, as a gay black man, would be called a white supremacist. Have you seen, there was an article that came out a couple weeks ago in Time or something. There was this whole string of articles about how black people are now helping perpetuate white supremacy, and that there are black people who are racist white supremacists.
Yes.
Do you realize how ridiculous? So the propaganda now is that if you're a black person and you're not 100% on board with whatever the agenda is, you're against us. And it's like, no, they're trying to help the community.
You do know that the black community that thinks that, all they're doing is harming their own community further. That's what I mean.
Don Lemon he was trying to help the community. But if you point out any problem,
but Bronny,
you're against us.
These people, whoever you are, I don't care if you're white or black, if you don't recognize your problems and you put up this facade because the house of cards will fall, all you're doing is being untrue to yourself and you're just harming yourself.
The only way you can fix problems is by addressing them first.
And exactly right.
It's crazy.
Wow, I love that, Bronny. Good job finding that.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't find it. It's been going around, but yeah.
Oh, you should have said you found it. Damn it.
No, I'm an honest person.
Okay, really? Honest? The cabinet door hit your neck? So let's go back.
Her name is Cabinet Door.
Yeah. Was it Formica or plywood? Let's do a...
We'll save the other cancel court for Patreon.
Sure.
And we'll do a fatherly advice.
You got it. Remind me what fatherly advice is again?
Yeah, I was. Did you not hear me? What just saying for those who don't
trust
know?
Me, I hear everything you're saying. Trust me.
Oh, because what I'm trying to say is we were on the exact same page. I was about to remind everyone.
Gotcha.
For those who don't know, we do a weekly segment called Fatherly Advice that we haven't done.
Do we still get people sending things in?
Yeah, I haven't gotten a new one in like a couple of weeks, so that's why I'm reminding people.
Really? Because
or maybe we've solved all our listeners' problems. But
how do they write into you?
It's on. If you're listening to this episode, it's in the show description, like the notes of the thing. And if you're watching, it's in the description of the video. There's a link to a form that you can go and fill out, and anything you want us to address in your life, right? If you have if you need work advice, career advice, relationship advice,
parenting
life advice, anything.
Child, parent,
or even like if
anything,
your dad never taught you something like how to do taxes or whatever, right? Whatever, something that you'd want.
Anything we can help you with. If you can't get the dribble out of your ass, we'll give you advice.
Yeah, definitely. We've been there, so we can help.
I've been there. You've been there.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, it's called Fatherly Advice. If you want to submit one, go ahead. This
long one.
It is, but it's like kind of the same thing. So it says, "Hi, John," and they forgot me, but thanks anyways.
No, because
it's from Josie.
And the Pussycats?
I'm a huge fan of the show and really trust your judgment, so I'd love your advice in the situation I'm in. I'm a 31-year-old woman, been dating a 36-year-old guy for about 10 months. We live in a big liberal city, but privately acknowledge to each other that we're both closeted conservatives, hence why I'm reaching out to you, since there aren't many conservative people who I can talk about this with. We see eye to eye on most issues until over the past month or so, I feel like I'm starting to see his true beliefs reveal themselves more and more, and it's showing me that he leans way too far right than I ever realized, dangerously close to conspiracy territory. And that's not really a right thing, but whatever, Josie. I think that since lately he's more comfortable with me, he's revealing more and more of his beliefs than he previously was too embarrassed to share. Recently, he admitted to me that he regularly reads InfoWars and likes Alex Jones. Okay, I do that too, Josie, and I'm not right. He seems to be prepared for anything can happen scenarios like uprisings and attacks. He also admitted that he thinks trans people are man-made horrors, believes that mass hysteria will unfold because of food shortages and inflation, thinks we need to get rid of the FBI and CIA, that COVID vaccines that we both took are probably going to have bad long-term side effects, doesn't think that climate change is that bad, and also believes that pedophiles run the world. So your boyfriend's smart. Your boyfriend's correct. That's right. I believe in all those things kind of too.
Okay.
His opinion on trans people was the most alarming to me because I feel like his description was really crude, classless, and closed-minded. As for his other points, I agree that So for his other points, I agree that the government is corrupt to some degree, but his passion on these subjects is a little too intense even for me. Fair. I know he'd never publicly express any of this, nor do anything impulsive like join a riot or even go to a Trump rally or anything like that. Weird. But it's
why can't he do that?
Yeah,
he has a right to do that.
And why would that be like bad to go to a Trump rally? But it's still kind of weird to me. John, what do I do? Since you also lean right, I'd love to hear your advice because you seem like a cool, normal, down-to-earth, and smart person. Josie, fuck you. What about me?
First of all, Josie, your last sentence.
Clearly, you have bad judge of character.
No,
Josie,
first of all, Bronson, shut the fuck up. She wasn't talking to you. Okay, go put some makeup on your tent. So here's the thing. Look, Nell and I have.
Wait, I didn't finish.
Oh,
there's one or two more sentences. Do you think these beliefs are a little too extreme, or does it just seem like it because it's so different from what I'm used to hearing in this liberal city? In your opinion, when does someone's beliefs enter too far right territory? I really love this guy, but I'm worried that I'm signing myself up for a lifetime with someone who believes the world is so doomed. Thank you. Okay.
All right. So
it's a good one.
All right. So first of all, look, Nell and I have been together for over 30 years. We have similar core values and goals of what we want out of life and things like that. But we're also very different. When you agree, Bronson, in how we approach things and our views, because I'm
definitely
so
like I'm thinking like she brought up like trans stuff. Like mom doesn't give a shit about that at all. She just doesn't even think about it one way or the other. She's like whatever. But you are like you care about it. You know?
Yeah. Right. So
like for in this situation,
right. So Josie, look, I can't tell you the last part on how to handle this with your boyfriend because you live with him. Only you could tell how much you love him or what if it outweighs what you think you love about him. I think that we live in a crazy time today. I think there is a lot of fear. People do have their fear of what's going to go on with this mass hysteria. There is that hype about shortage of food. There are concerns. Look what happened with the baby formula.
And not they're all, but like those things are legitimate things that are happening.
So to me,
inflation.
So to me, Josie, if you have
shortages.
Listen,
sorry, I was thinking.
You're like in the background, like war and crime, drug fentanyl. So what?
The fentanyl crisis.
Yeah. So here's what I say. Just like you have your view that's not so strong. I don't think it's a far right. I just think he has a stronger view about certain things that you might not have a stronger view. He has to respect your views of saying, I don't think it's as big of a deal. And you have to respect his. Now, if it starts interfering in your relationship.
That's what I was going to say.
If it starts interfering in your relationship where you can't deal, so to speak, or he's obsessed or whatever it is, then like anything else, you don't have similarities that you want to continue a future with.
Right.
But on the same token, if he just have a stronger opinion than you do, which is okay, and as a man, you worry things a little bit more than a woman does, just so you know, just the way we're wired, okay? We have more of a fight or flight response than women do.
And prepping for bad things to happen.
That's what men do. Hunters, gatherers, that's just the way we're genetically wired. So you have to respect.
Can't say you're going to be canceled.
Listen, I don't give a fuck. So you have to respect that. So only you can make the determination. And as you guys fall in love more and you get closer and you live in an environment where he can't express himself, he's going to take it on the person he can, which is you, and share it with you more. So you don't want him to be like you. You don't want to be exactly like you. Just have similar goals and views and life future of what you want together, but you can have difference of opinions in how firm and hard you believe. For example, like Nell will eat in any, my wife will eat in any restaurants. I'm a little more picky. I'm like, absolutely not, I'm not going. I'm using it as a simple analogy, which can be compared to the fact that he might have a stronger view than you, but you have to respect it, just like you want him to respect the fact that you have a lesser view than him.
I mean, if you don't want it, then you don't want it. You know, like if you're like, I don't want someone with different views than me, then end the relationship.
Or it's too much for you and you can't handle it. But I don't
think that's a reason to end a relationship.
But his view on those 5 issues are really widgets. The fact pattern could be whatever it is. You have to decide, is it important enough to you where it's interfering and ruining your life, where you're not attracted to him, you're not maybe as in love with him as much, or you don't see a future with him. I think that you love each other. He sounds like a smart guy. My point is,
I have a few.
You guys can talk about it, and I think come to some sort of understanding. That's my opinion.
Yeah, I just have a few things to say. I think
let's be very clear. She didn't ask you.
True.
You were not on it. What's the name of the top thing? Fatherly advice.
But I'm.
And it said, "Dear John," and said, "I value John."
Dear John letter
because you're so smart. She didn't say Bron.
That's true. But as someone who also likes Alex Jones and has reads InfoWars, right? Like I literally do those things. I'll admit I don't care, but I also read CNN. Like I literally read both, right?
Let me say this in all fairness though. We do know some people. So you're well versed.
Well, that's what I was going to say.
We do know some people that are so like vomited.
That's what I was going to say.
We're not going to mention names that you got like, I can't fucking handle it.
So I was going to say two things. One,
we just don't know the facts because we're not there.
So that's why I'm saying to her, I think there's two things. One, there's no problem with someone like getting more into their beliefs, especially these ones, or not especially, but including these ones, as long as it doesn't get to the point where it becomes like dangerous, right? If he's starting to like be like, yeah, all these things, whatever, but then if it's like becoming dangerous because like I'm going to riot, then that's when it changes.
She's not talking that.
No, but what I'm saying is like her worries are that he's becoming too extreme in his beliefs, and so she's worried that, right, that's the becoming extreme is a spectrum, right? So as long as it doesn't.
But we have people we know that they literally talk so much about it, you can't even oppose it.
Well, if that becomes their whole personality, then who would want to be with them anyway?
Move the fuck on.
The other thing I was going to say is like, so you've listened to this podcast. I think the CIA and the FBI are complete crooks. I think the government does not have our best interest at heart, right? Like what else did you say? Food shortages, inflation. I worried about that shit all the time. I talk about it all on the show all the time, right? And I read tweets from farmers and all this shit, right? Like, so the thing is, and it's fine to watch InfoWars and listen to Alex Jones speak, but you have to also like be a rational person and also think for yourself, right? So I know a lot of people who like, they'll watch InfoWars and they'll be like, this is 100% the truth, always, whatever he says. But and that's dangerous.
They want to be led. They're sheep. They're idiots.
But that's what I'm saying. She has to really think about,
decipher it.
Is my boyfriend able to think for himself? Like, I read all those things, but I then formulate, okay, this one sounds really interesting to me, and that's bullshit. Okay, but wow, there's probably some truth in there.
You are intellectual. A lot of people are ignorant.
But that's what I'm saying to her. She needs to figure out, is her boyfriend just someone who's going to be radicalized, or is he someone that can think for himself and he's just interested in these things?
If he has a different opinion than you and you don't agree with it, there's nothing wrong with that. Your opinion is not right. His is not right. It's just an opinion. Yeah. You have to question yourself. But she might not want to be
right.
That's the difference.
I know there are some people.
I don't want to be around anybody that's fucking idiots.
Yeah, well, but like there are some people that want to date people who think like them in every single way, and there are other people that want someone who thinks differently than them, so they challenge them. And, right, so it's just what you want. At a certain point, if you're like, I don't like any of the things the way that he thinks, then you're not going to be with the person.
We're not able to help you, unfortunately, because we don't live with you and see and really understand the dynamics. But you might be a little more open mind and evaluate it further, and then get back to us and keep us posted.
Yeah, but I mean, your boyfriend sounds like he knows what he's doing.
So what, you're dating Bronson?
Yeah, your boyfriend sounds like he knows what he's doing. And also, I just want to say for you, Josie, and for everyone listening, that you said, quote unquote, like conspiracy, close to conspiracy territory. That's not a right thing. So like that's you, Josie, being propagandized by mass media to think that thinking conspiracy theories is right wing, because then they discredit them. Thinking conspiracy theories 15 years ago was actually a liberal thing. So, right, like when Bush was president and everyone was saying 9/11 was an inside job, all this stuff, the government, which was conservative, said that's you hippies that are anti-government.
That's valid.
So I just want, it's not a right thing. I just want to put that out.
So I wish you luck. You can reach back out to us. We're curious to know what your follow-up is. But give it time. I think you need to communicate more with him, talk more with him, and come to some sort of middle ground. All right, we're out. Love you guys. Bronny, happy birthday, buddy.
Love you, Dad. You have to say love you back.
I love you too, brother. You're joking, right?
Well, I'm trying to be hopeful. I'm trying to be optimistic about that.
Well, I guess you're too young to be a little pessimistic like me. The fucking things I see out there, people are stupid.